And I saw Tess Daly wearing this on Strictly Come Dancing a few years ago. And I was like, I need this dress.
Welcome to Off the Hanger. This week's guest is Abigail Rebecca. She's a fabulous human design visibility mentor, and we had an amazing chat about all the gorgeous things in her wardrobe. Abigail, thank you so much for joining us on Off the Hanger on this lovely sunny morning. I am super excited to find out about all the things in your wardrobe, but also to talk to you about what you do, because I am fascinated by your job. So you are a human design visibility mentor, is that right?
Yes, I'm a human design visibility mentor, and I work with entrepreneurial women all around the world, and I help them with their visibility and their confidence, and their positioning and their wealth. So I work with women who need to be more visible basically within their business, and we use human design, which is an incredible system that's based on astrology and sort of shows us how we can use our energy to the best effect. But also, I am a trained personal stylist at the London College of Fashion. And when I first started my business, I started as a personal stylist. So clothes, I believe, are the ultimate expression of self-love and self-expression. So a lot of the clients that I work with, once they've kind of like shifted the way that they feel about themselves inside, they want to be showing up in a different way. And so I love it. I love talking about clothes and styling, and it really is the ultimate self-expression.
And have you always been into fashion? Did you love fashion as a child?
Yeah, I loved it. I was always dressing up. Yeah, always. And it's one of the things that really entertained. I was quite lonely as a child. I didn't have a lot of friends, not through my own wishes, but just the way that I was brought up. So it was a way that I could express myself. It was the way that I could play. So I was always trying on my mother's clothing, and my grandmother. My grandmother was she was like a trained fashion designer, actually. Not that she worked as one throughout her life, but that certainly was her training. So she had the most fabulous outfits. Not very PC at the moment, but obviously I would never wear them now. But she had lots of furs, and it was just very glamorous, like 1930s, lots of feathers. And so I used to love going and dressing up. Yeah, and I feel like even now, if we go and embrace that inner child, it's like I feel like when I go into my wardrobe, I'm going into my dressing up box, and I'm like, how do I want to dress up today?
I do say that quite often, that my job, when people say to me, what do you do for a living? I'm like, oh, I play dress up for a living. Whether
Yes.
it's on myself, whether it's on models, I just play dressing up. That's what I do. That's my occupation. So what's the oldest thing you've got in your wardrobe? Do you tend to hang on to things?
I don't tend to hang on to things unless it's a true, I mean, I'd love to have like loads of like really amazing, cool, like vintage items in my wardrobe, but I don't. And I'm not the sort of person that hangs on to things, to be honest with you. There's no real emotional attachment to any of my clothes in my wardrobe. But my oldest thing, which I have that I can show you here, is probably this. So it's like a 1980s kind of vintage Ralph Lauren blazer that I inherited from my stepmother. And I love it. And it's just like a really nice throw on piece. So that's I'd say that that's probably the oldest piece in my wardrobe at the moment.
And it's such a timeless piece as well. I think, I love the emblem on it, the silhouette, the structured shoulder. It's just gorgeous.
Yes, I love the shoulder pads. So I worked in corporate for many, many years, and my creativity was really stifled. I just used to wear like, navy and dark suits and black dresses, and that was it. But I feel like this is still a nod to my corporate because it's got the shoulder pads. I really, really love this, actually. It kind of makes me feel like, ooh, ready for business.
Get things done when you're wearing that jacket.
Get things done. Absolutely.
What would you say is the piece in your wardrobe that gets the most compliments?
Probably what I'm wearing at the moment is one of the things that gets the most compliments. I think it's because it's quite witchy, and It's got all the lovely moons on. And then this also, which is a complete contrast, by the way. This also gets a lot of compliments. So this is Olivia Rubin.
I love Olivia Rubin.
Yeah. So they do, as you know, they do really colourful pieces.
Everything's a rainbow, just beautiful rainbow of colours.
Yeah, I feel like it's like, you know, especially when you said it was sunny, it's absolutely pouring it down rain here in the south of the UK.
Oh no!
So if it's a rainy day, then this kind of brightens it up. And then this is from, I think it's called Zamora. It's like it's from Malta. It's a Maltese-based brand. Paris Hilton's wearing a lot of their pieces at the moment, so I think she's a brand ambassador for her. I love a goddess dress. I love wearing dresses because I'm like a classic hourglass figure. But I've got quite a big belly because I've got fibroids, so my belly sticks out. So I feel like with dresses, it kind of gives me that shape and that definition, and I'm not so self-conscious about my belly. So I love a good dress. I love a good dress. It just keeps me all in proportion.
I love a great dress too. And with you, I love any sort of celestial kind of print or embroidery, anything with moons and stars. And I've got a t-shirt that I was actually wearing yesterday that's got a big hand on it, like it's a palm reading t-shirt, and it has all the lines and things on it. And every single time I wear this t-shirt, people are like, oh my goodness, where's that t-shirt from? It's so cool. And I love it. I love anything a bit witchy.
I pulled something, actually. This is another thing that I pulled from my wardrobe, which is quite similar. So I don't know if you can see this with the light, but it says raise your vibration. And this is all like diamond, it's all like rhinestone. It's so gorgeous. This is from Night Goddess Sky, which is the brand. I don't think she's a well-known brand, but she's based in LA, and I love Kundalini Yoga. So she's from my Kundalini Yoga community. And this also gets a lot of compliments as well.
I love it. Love that. Are you somebody who spends quite a lot when it comes to your wardrobe? What's the most expensive piece you have?
I spend a lot of money on handbags and shoes. I wouldn't necessarily say that I spend, well, I guess it depends what your definition of is a lot, really. I don't have huge amounts of designer clothes within my wardrobe, but this is the one that I pulled, which might be the most expensive one. I'm not sure. So this is, I love Rixo. I've got a lot of Rixo dresses, and I saw Tess Daly wearing this on Strictly Come Dancing a few years ago, and I was like, I need this dress. Where do I get this dress from? So it's almost like this is like the New Year's Eve dress, or it could be like, you know, going supermarket shopping dress. Depends.
Why not? Just wear it. Why not? Yeah.
But yes, apart from my handbags and shoes, this is probably the most expensive item that I have in my wardrobe. I do buy a lot of pre-loved stuff, designer pre-loved stuff. So, you know, if you were to buy that new, maybe that would be the most expensive. But yeah, I think that one is. And it's lovely. I always feel really sparkly when I wear it.
I love Rixo for that. Rixo have really they've got it down making a great dress. That's the thing that they just do so well. They just make fabulous dresses. I was lucky enough last year was it last year or the beginning of this year? Recently. I went to their sample sale, and it was just amazing. It was a bit of a scrum. There were elbows being thrown, but it was totally worth it.
I can imagine. I've got loads of Rixo dresses. So I always wear like a Rixo dress if I'm running a retreat or something. We run beautiful retreats all around the world, and I'm like, I just want to feel really goddess today, and I'll wear a Rixo dress. But I don't know, you'll probably know this actually, but every now and again, TK Maxx will buy old Rixo stock, and they often have it on their website. So I looked the other day actually, and there were some pieces on there, like older, like, you know, 4 years old, but still obviously amazing. I think that dress is probably about 3 years old, actually, when they first brought it out. So you could, just keep an eye out for some nice dresses and tops and things on there.
You see, I've never been bothered about having things that are the newest season. I always just
No.
buy the things that I like rather than having things that are the current season. I don't know why that never really enters my mind that I'd want something that was this season's thing. It's always like, oh, I don't care if it's like from 5 years ago and I've bought it on Vinted or, you know, from TK Maxx or whatever. I think, yeah, it's more about it being a bargain, I think, to me, than it being brand new and this season's.
I that's why I love, you've just said Vinted, Depop. I love it because you're being so sustainable. You're giving, a dress or an outfit like a new home, but also you are, I love it. Like, I don't have a problem spending money on clothes. It's part of my budget. I budget it actually in my business because, for my business, it's all about presenting myself and showing up. And I do a lot of videos and I do a lot of events and I speak on a lot of stages. But also, I'm so excited when I can find something like on Vinted or Depop and be like, oh, yes, I've got such a bargain. It's really exciting, isn't it, when you can get something?
It's treasure hunting.
I just love shopping. Exactly.
Yeah, it's the treasure hunting thing. I love it. I love it if I've got a vintage parcel on the way. It's always so exciting when it arrives. What's the newest piece you've got in your wardrobe?
Okay, there's 2 pieces that I wanted to show you. So I've just bought this. I wanted a really simple black dress. I don't know if you can actually see it, but it's almost like it kind of like flares out at the bottom. So it's almost like a skater dress. It comes kind of halfway down the thigh. It's not like, I don't worry about it when I bend over. Let's put it that way. It's got pockets, which is so exciting. And it's really, really thick material. This is from Manners, London, and I love her stuff. She's all about embracing lots of different body shapes. I am a 36 double D, and it's the only thing that I've ever worn without a bra. And I can wear it without a bra, and I'm like, what is this magical? It's magical.
What is the witchcraft built into this dress?
What is happening? How can my boobs stay up? I must say though, it was really weird going. In the end, I did actually I just put on a like a bodysuit underneath because I was like, I don't know how comfortable I actually feel going out without a bra because I'm not used to it. Mm-hmm. So that's interesting. That's something I need to work on. And then I also bought this, which is a beautiful spangly jacket to go with it. And this is from State of Disarray. And I love their stuff because it's so cool. Like they make really, I love festivals. So they make amazing stuff for festivals. But also this is a bomber jacket that basically I can wear every day. It's not a problem. Like, I love it. I'll go anywhere with this. So yeah, this bomber jacket is lush.
It is lush. I love the sparkles. I'm here for a bit of everyday kind of sparkle. Everyday sparkle, everyday kind of sequins. They shouldn't just be reserved for like nights out and festivals. It should be an everyday thing.
No, exactly. It's all about the sparkle. Yeah. And about like, how can I'm very much about, I want to give people the opportunity to come and start a conversation with me. And I do that through my clothes, through my jewelry, through my nails. Like, people come and start a conversation with me, and then I can, it's open to everything then. I actually attract so many clients through the way that I dress. And that's also another thing that I teach my clients to do as well, which is really cool.
That's very clever. Very clever. Now, earlier on you said that you don't really have any attachment to pieces, but do you have a most sentimental piece? Is there one thing that you'd never get rid of?
Yeah, it was really difficult to think about this because I was like, I'm quite good at clearing things out, but this is another dress actually from Zamara, which is the Maltese brand that I was telling you about, and it's just so pretty. And it's got this, I don't know if you can see, but look at that.
That's beautiful.
It's just gorgeous. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It doesn't actually suit me too much on camera. It's interesting because obviously the camera lens, as you know, is very different to the lens that we have in our human eye. So some clothes that would look really good on me the colours that would look good in real life wouldn't look so great on camera. But this is an off the shoulder dress. So this comes right down to the waist when you're wearing it, and it's just so flattering and so gorgeous. And I wore this to my niece's wedding, and my niece got married in the desert just outside of Las Vegas last September. And I was the only family member that was at that wedding, where we were both raised in like a religious cult, and we both left it when we were 16. Obviously she's my niece, so it didn't happen at the same time, but we've kind of followed separate paths. And I'm just so proud of everything that she's achieved. She's put herself through university. She's got 2 degrees. She's done it all on her own. She's, about to have a baby, and she had this beautiful, beautiful wedding in the desert. And I was like the proud aunt, wearing this dress. So I wore this dress with a big, big straw hat because it was so hot out in the desert. And I'll just always look at this dress and think about my niece's wedding. I'm so proud of her.
Oh my goodness, that's such a beautiful story. I love that you got to wear that and you got to share that moment with her, and that you felt so fabulous in what you were wearing, and that's incredible. Can we go off a fashion tangent for a moment, and can I ask you about the cult? Because I am fascinated. Was this in the UK? Because in my head, these things are like, they happen in other countries. This isn't a UK thing, but this was here.
Yeah, it was. Now, some people might not actually interpret it as a cult. They might view it as a religion, but it is a cult. So I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness.
Right.
And growing up as a Jehovah's Witness is very disempowering to women. So basically, I was raised to be a wife and a mother, and to be obedient, subservient to men. Women don't really have a role within the, within the organisation. And as women, you have to dress very modestly. And I was told what to wear. I was told what to say. I didn't have any opinions. I couldn't question anything. My father even chose my GCSE subjects for me.
Wow.
Which were cookery, needlework, childcare. And there's nothing like, I think, being a wife and a mother is the most incredible role that you can have as a woman. But if you choose to be
if it's by choice.
When it's actually forced upon you, it's a different matter. So I had to make a decision when I was 16 to either stay within that organisation, and that was basically my life. And it's very, you're held there very much like fear. There's a lot of fear instilled teaching within it. Or I was going to leave and choose freedom, and I chose freedom. So I had to leave my friends and family behind when I was 16, which, looking back now, it's a huge decision. But at the time I was like, oh my goodness, this is incredible. And that's when I really started to develop my own style. So when I was younger, I used to kind of like design my own jeans and like draw pictures on jeans and things like that. But I was never allowed to wear them outside the house. And I was a holiday rep. So I lived overseas for many years. And that's when I was able to then develop my own taste in clothes, but also be able to kind of look at other cultures and other styles. That's why I love to wear a lot of Spanish and Maltese clothes, a lot of European clothes. I just love it. I love like different clothes from different countries and different designers. So yeah, that was my life. And then my niece did the same thing as well when she was 16.
And it's incredible that actually in that period when you left, you were then able to just really discover who you were, not just in terms of fashion, but in terms of your personality. Because of always being so restricted, I imagine there was always somebody inside of you going, but this isn't who I am. I need to get out of this. I need to be my true self, whether that is, expressing it in fashion or in your personality. And I'm so pleased for you that you managed to do that and that you've created this beautiful life instead.
Thank you. Yeah. It really was about finding myself, and I had this incredible life, and I'm so grateful for the way that I've been brought up, actually, because if I hadn't have been brought up like that, I don't feel that I would have had the experiences to be able to do what I do now. Because I might not necessarily work with women that have been brought up the same way as me, but I do work with women that are worried about being judged, criticised, they have imposter syndrome, this fear of rejection, as they go out there and they become highly visible. So because of the way that I was brought up, And because I also had those fears when I started my business, and I didn't realize I just hadn't healed the trauma, really. It was a really traumatic, my childhood, looking back at it, and I hadn't healed it. So when I started my business, I was keeping really, really small. I wasn't really going out there. You might have thought that I was a bit visible, but actually I wasn't. I wasn't playing to my biggest self. So that is when I started my business, that's when I really started to heal myself. And then, of course, you know, the more confident you are, the more you can express it through your clothes.
That's incredible. And now that you are your fullest, most confident self, is there a piece in your wardrobe that you would say best sums you up?
A piece that best sums me up, it's probably this, actually, that I'm wearing. It's probably this. This sums me up. I'm really proud to be, you know, a woman who can just go out and express myself and wear what I want, and I don't care what anybody thinks about me at all. I just want to go and be myself, and I'm very spiritual, and I love to work with the moon phases, and you know, I'm very interested in a lot of the things that I was sort of like kept apart from during my childhood. So yes, I think this dress actually sums me up, and this is probably the reason why I put it on.
I love that. It's beautiful. It's perfect. Now, are you somebody who ever has a fashion faux pas or a wardrobe malfunction? Basically, do you want to join my disaster club?
I've had so many fashion faux pas and wardrobe malfunctions, but I'll tell you one that shows up consistently. I am the sort of person that when I go out for dinner, I drop everything down my boobs. And my partner just laughs every time. We can be like in the poshest, beautiful, most beautiful restaurant, and I'm like, and he's like, have you just dropped something? I'm like, and it goes all down my top, and then I have to go through the meal and then throughout the day with a big stain down my top. It always happens, and I really should like put a napkin or something and tuck it in, but I'm like, ooh, no, I don't want to do that. So I embrace it.
I do the exact same thing. I think it's my enthusiasm for the food. I'm so enthusiastic about wanting to eat the food that I then just spill it all over myself. Oh my goodness.
Oh dear me, yeah.
Now, do you have a favourite pair of shoes? You did mention earlier that you like to spend money on shoes on bags, so I'm excited to see your favourite shoes.
Yes, I love Terry de Havilland.
Me too.
They've done a collab with Annie's with some silver cowboy boots, and I'm kind of like talking myself in and out of them, and I'm like, would I really wear silver cowboy boots every day? But I think I am probably going to get some. But I love these shoes. They're the classic Terry de Havilland kind of disco. They're really comfortable, super comfortable. So I love those. Those are probably my favorite. And also, I am slightly obsessed with Free People. I love Free People so much, and I love Free People cowboy boots. So, and I love, look at you know what? I just think
the details
with Free People, the details, they're so amazing. I spend a lot of time in America. A lot of my clients are American. So I feel it's got that really cool, like California kind of West Coast vibe. So yes, these are my cowboy boots from Free People that I absolutely love and adore. And probably will get some more colours as well because they do different colourways.
I love them. I love both of those. I definitely think there's a place in your life for some silver cowboy boots. Yeah.
Thanks. That's permission I needed.
Yeah, you just go out there, wear them, be proud, put them on. I think, you know, you're definitely the type of person that can pull them off. I feel the silver cowboy boot energy in your life, so you need to get involved.
Okay. I'm gonna get them, and then I'll tag
you in.
Do. Yeah, I got them.
Do. Perfect. So, other than the silver cowboy boots, is there a piece that you are lusting after? Is there a dream fashion item that you don't have?
Yeah, I have always wanted like the really big Chanel classic bag. I've always wanted it, but it needs to be the big one. I can't be doing with the little one. It needs to be big. And to be honest with you, every single month I have to make a decision, and I do believe that you can have it all. I'm all about abundance and having it all, but also, you know, from a practical point of view, I'm like, do I invest that in my business? Like, do I do some Facebook ads, or do I buy the Chanel bag? And it's always like, I always have to kind of be like, no, I'm just going to invest in my business and do it that way. But it's going to happen. So one day it will be mine. And you know what? Every time I run a retreat, one of my clients rocks up and she's like, oh yeah, I've just been to Vegas and look what I bought. And they've got like a Chanel, they've got it. And I'm like, right, okay. It's on its way to me. Yes, I'd really love that. And I was trying to think as well, like, I think there's been some things, I can't give you any specific examples, but there's been a lot of times where I've seen something and I've loved it, and then they've completely sold out, and then I can't ever find it again. So there's those things as well. And it might not be a hugely expensive item, but it's like, oh, I really wish that it would show up. But then saying that, most of the time I do tend to manifest them anyway on Vinted or Depop. I just think you just keep looking out and you'll find it, right? It always shows up.
That's currently what I'm doing with a Farm Rio dress. So I loved it, and it kept popping up as like a Facebook advert, and I didn't buy it, and then it sold out, and I was really annoyed at myself. And so I now have a Vinted search for it, and I will just keep checking, and eventually it will find its way into my life, because it's so fabulous.
Yeah, Vinted, eBay, Depop. Oh, there's so many, aren't there? There's somebody was telling me some really good American ones as well, but I can't remember what they were called. But there's so many great sites out there now. Yes, I'm sure it will appear.
That's it. It will come. It will find its way to me. Do you have a piece of fashion advice that you would give to your younger self?
I think I would just say to my younger self, don't worry about being noticed. When I was younger, we used to get a lot of, being raised as a Jehovah's Witness was quite embarrassing as a child, especially as a child that didn't really believe in it. I never really believed in it, to be honest with you. So we used to get taken around door knocking. We used to walk to, along the street, and we used to get a lot of abuse shouted at us. We used to get a lot of abuse. So it was almost like when I was younger, I kind of tried to hide a little bit. I was like, don't be noticed. Like, if people don't notice you, they're not going to pick on you. And I was very lucky as a child, actually. I didn't get picked on, even though, unfortunately, especially when I was growing up, at the time that I was growing up, there would have been not a reason to do it, but I was standing out as someone that was different, right? So I would have been like the ideal target to be bullied. So I tried to kind of blend in with everyone else. So I was very much like a dedicated follower of fashion, I used to dress like everyone else. And I think the advice that I would give to my younger self would be, don't worry, like, stand out, be an individual, be unique, embrace your weirdness, embrace your authenticity, and just wear whatever you want to wear. And actually being different and having a sense of style that does differentiate yourself from other people, it actually will be in your favor eventually. And I truly believe that. A lot of people say, how do you differentiate yourself from other people that do similar work as you? I'm like, well, first of all, I'm me and they're them, so we're completely different anyway. But secondly, it's the way that I dress, it's my style. That's what sets me apart from other people, and I'm really happy to do that now. I love the fact that I dress differently. So yes, that would be my piece of advice for my younger self.
That is fabulous advice, and what a lovely place to finish on. It has been so wonderful chatting with you. I have loved your wardrobe and all of your stories. Thank you so much for being on Off the Hanger.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe on YouTube, or give this a follow and a rating.